Hey there, thanks for clicking and welcome to my channel. If you're a fan of RPGs or the Atelier series, you might have heard about the latest game in the series, Atelier Resleriana. And yes, that was a mouthful. I'm just gonna call it Resleri for short. Despite the negative opinion that some of the fanbase have, I want to go through the top 3 common misconceptions about this game. And I'll conclude with my opinion and whether it's worth playing or not. So, let's get into it. Top 3 misconceptions about Atelier Resleriana. Number 1. Because it's a mobile gacha game, I have to spend loads of money for the game to be fun. Actually, this honestly couldn't be further from the truth. I started playing Resleri back when it first released in Japan. I vowed to myself that I wouldn't spend money on the Japanese version, just because I knew there would possibly be a global release at some point. I actually did stay true to this for the Japanese version. It was still really playable. You technically don't need to spend money to progress in the game, especially early on and in the main story. The free characters you're given are more than good enough to progress, and any character can gradually be upgraded to 5 stars, for free. An important point to note, the main story is always free to play and doesn't require any stamina or currency. It's actually between the story chapters that you're usually expected to grind and progress your team's levels. But the game's designed to be played a little every day. You get a free daily pull on the Gacha, or raffle, every day, and you could technically get lucky and pull a 3-star character. The game also frequently gives you gems for Gacha pulls, and there are constantly events and campaigns to get the chance for more gems. Even if you're somehow incredibly unlucky, there are plenty of 1 and 2-star characters that are super useful in the main story, and event quests. Of course, if you want more gacha pulls and more chances to pull better characters, the option is there to spend, but a lot of the free units and more common characters can easily get you through the game. And as I said, there are more than enough events to gradually save up and stockpile gems. If I wasn't a huge fan of the series, I probably wouldn't have felt the need to spend any money, because it doesn't feel predatory to me for casual players. Number 2. This is purely a sexy fan service game with boob jiggle physics. It has no substance. Actually, this is a common misconception with the entire Atelier series. I know how it looks, and I know how the games are promoted at times, but you really have to trust me. If you actually play the games, including this one, aside from occasional camera angles, the games are super wholesome, heartwarming, and innocent. For several years, there haven't even been any sexual jokes or references in the games. The story always surrounds a female main character who has real goals, feelings, and ambitions. The characters in general are all full of personality, and the story is heartwarming and has a lot of slice of life elements. Basically, it's anything but a sleazy or sexy game. I think Gust has always tried to trick the audience with their marketing, especially since Rise's fanservice got the series more popular. But it's one of the most wholesome, beautiful, and relaxing franchises I've ever played. Resleriana is no exception. Valeria in particular, one of the dual protagonists, has a lot of side boob going on, but this isn't a part of her character or identity at all. She's super charming, funny, badass, and is quite a well-rounded character. Same goes for a lot of the characters in the main story. If there's any fan service going on, it's the type that appeals to long-time fans of the Atelier series. It's so heartwarming and nostalgic to see returning characters from older trilogies, rendered in glossy, stunning 3D. Even for non-fans, I think you'll fall in love with the cast pretty quickly. Number 3. The game is a low-budget, money-milking project and will end soon. I know how people feel about mobile games, but I just don't believe this is true. Everything from the detailed 3D character models, to the gorgeous soundtrack, to the actually exciting and gripping story, it all really feels like the devs put a lot of effort and heart into this game. We all understand a game like this has to make money somehow, it has to be grindy and gate progression a little, otherwise there would be no incentive to keep playing. However, in many ways I think this game is a huge evolution for the Atelier franchise. The production values in terms of graphics, animations, music and story are really impressive. In particular, it actually feels a bit more polished than Ryza 3, the last full console game, which in contrast seemed quite rushed and unfinished. As I said, it's so cool to see all the past Atelier characters in glorious 3D, but even the original characters from Resleriana have a lot of charm and personality. In particular, Valeria and Izana are two of my favourites. Lanze, I don't know how to say his name in English, but he's super visually appealing and badass as well. I really hope we get more versions of him, actually. As for the game ending soon, if the Japan server is anything to go by, I think it's going pretty well. It doesn't seem like there's an intention to wind down anytime soon. It's clearly succeeding enough for the devs to release consistent updates, new events, new story chapters every month, and Global isn't that far behind as they've been releasing twice the amount of chapters per month. In summary, I've really been enjoying this game a lot and I'm fully addicted, I'm not gonna lie. Especially early on when you're starting out, the premise of the story and characters is really fun. The translation, shockingly, is quite well done, and the devs seem to be listening to feedback from players. Heck, it's getting a lot more care and updates than any mainline console Atelier game ever did. It's free to download on Steam and mobile, and it runs great on the Steam Deck as well. You've got nothing to lose, apart from hours and hours of your life. And hey, it might hopefully encourage you to check out more of the Atelier series. I really hope it does. Check out all my other videos about Atelier, Gust, and Japanese games in general. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you'll stick around. Bye, see you next time.